شفا بگیره این سینه زنی ها پشت درد سردار حقین اول پس دل زینبیه خیمگاه ارباب بغل من سائل مدد آقام حسین و کرم آقام اول پس
بین الحرمین و حرم آقام حسین و حرم آقام اول پس.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وآله الطاهرين. Respected scholars, elders, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. We assemble here to commemorate the great tragedy of Karbala. The Imams of the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam have urged us to assemble, to mourn, to weep, to remember the pain, the suffering, the mazlumiyya of Imam Hussein alayhi salam and his band of loyal followers. But beyond that, they also have guided us that we should declare our bay'ah to the Imam. Beyond that, we should distance and dissociate ourselves from the enemies of the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam who represent the evil, the oppressive, the suppressive, the unjust forces. And beyond that, we should declare our aspiration and determination to join in this ongoing battle between truth and falsehood, to join the army of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Ya laytani kuntu ma'akum fa'afuza fawzan azima. The process of preparing to join this army requires us to therefore study Karbala in such a way that if Imam Hussein alayhi salam is the warith of all the messengers, therefore Karbala represented the core epitome message of all the Anbiya, and of course the message of the last of the prophets, and of course the message of the Quran. And that's why the Imam is also addressed as Imam Hussein alayhi salam as Assalamu alayk ya Sharik al-Quran. So allow me to remind ourselves, tonight we traditionally commemorate the memory and the shahada of Aun and Muhammad, the sons of Abdullah bin Ja'far and Bi Zainab salamullah alayha. But I would like to expand the discussion in that these young men who were there were not the only young men. Bani Hashim who were there are many. We had the children of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, of course, Ali Asghar, Ali Akbar, Ali Awsat. We had the children of Imam Hassan alayhi salam, Qasim bin Hassan, Abi Bakr bin Hassan, Abdullah bin Hassan. Hassan al-Muthanna, it's said, survived. We have the sons of Imam Ali alayhi salam, not only Abbas bin Ali, but also Muhammad bin Ali and Uthman bin Ali and Abdullah bin Ali and Ja'far bin Ali and Abi Bakr bin Ali. And we also have the sons of Aqil. Aqil was 20 years older than Amirul Mu'minin alayhi salam. He died in the 50 year of age, 10 years before Karbala. But to his credit, amongst the Bani Hashim children from one father, the biggest number was of Aqil. The same Aqil who had proposed the name of the woman from that Qabila, the mother of Hazrat Abbas alayhi salam. Aqil's children and grandchildren Aqil's son Abdullah bin Aqil, Abdul Rahman bin Aqil, Ja'far bin Aqil. His grandsons, Abdullah bin Muslim bin Aqil. His other grandson, Muhammad bin Abi Sa'id bin Aqil. And of course, the grandsons of Ja'far bin Abi Talib. Aun and Muhammad, the sons of Abdullah bin Ja'far bin Abi Talib. But the interesting thing is this: none of the fathers were present in Karbala of all these names that I've mentioned, except for Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Imam acted as the father for all of them. Most of these names I've mentioned are in under 10, in their teens, in their 20s. The oldest is 30 plus. This whole band of youth was guided, supervised, trained, developed by Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And therefore allow me to remind ourselves the crucial role a father can play in such a way that you train 18 or 20 of the youths to come to Karbala. Of 72, almost 20 were under the direct training as children under Imam Hussein alayhi salam. The father plays a very crucial role. You know, the past president of India, AVP, is known as AVP J. Abdul Kalam. Abdul Kalam, he says that if a country is to be corruption free, and if it is to become a nation of beautiful minds, I strongly feel that there are three key societal members who can make a difference: the father, the mother, and the teacher. The father plays a crucial role. If I were to look at the Quran to find out the model of a father who trains his child, there's a whole surah named after this father. Surah Luqman, chapter 31. وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا لُقْمَانَ الْحِكْمَةِ, and we granted special wisdom to Luqman. Oh, incidentally, the hadith says the recitation of this surah will protect you from the devil and also will reward you to be in the company of Luqman. So the way to protect our children as a father, and the way to associate ourselves with the band of the virtuous, pious, righteous people, the guidance is there in Surah Luqman. Surah Luqman basically revolves around this central concept of the necessity of following the divine teachings based on wisdom. The Quran contains this wisdom. Those who refuse to accept that wisdom will be punished. Luqman admonishes his son based on this wisdom. And then, if you submit and surrender to the wisdom that is contained in Surah Luqman, for example, and the other surahs of the Quran, فَقَدْ اسْتَمْسَكَ بِالْعُرْوَةِ الْوُثْقَى, then you would have held on firmly to that unbreakable handlehold. We're living in a society that is pulling us in all different directions. We can easily get lost and deviated. Well, we need a strong pivot, a strong handle, so to speak, to hold on to, which will guide us to our salvation. And then the surah says the different proofs for the existence of God, unity of God, the governance of God in the universe. And then ultimately it invites us to have taqwa and obedience to the commands of God. So look at Surah Luqman from this perspective and see how Karbala represents the personification and the embodiment of the teachings contained in Surah Luqman through Imam Hussein alayhi salam. You see, to become a parent or to become a father is something natural. Anybody can become a father. The important thing is to become a father who can train a good child. There are some reformers, social reformers. They claim that all problems in society, maybe it's an exaggeration, so maybe we rephrase it. Most of the problems in society can be solved by the father, because he's the one who is responsible to be able to guide and direct and supervise and instruct and train and develop and advise and admonish this child. So we need to see what is it that a father is required to do. There was a criminal gang leader, and he reformed himself. In an interview, he says that I am there for my son 24/7 because I don't want him to take the road that we took as criminals, because I didn't have a father around. If he were to be around, I would have learned a lot of things. There was no father to tell me, son, be careful, avoid this company, avoid this particular behavior. When we were growing up, we learned through trial and error out on the streets the consequences of evil or criminal habits. The father plays a crucial role. If you look at the advice given by Luqman to his son, it includes mental, intellectual development, moral development, spiritual development, social development, political development of a child. Interesting. The ayah starts by saying, وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا لُقْمَانَ الْحِكْمَةِ, and we granted special wisdom of the higher truth, those timeless principles that should govern the growth and the development of a human being, all inspired by divine knowledge. And it is this hikmah which makes the father, incidentally, hikmah doesn't mean only to know something. It is to be convinced. Hikmah is derived from the word hukum, something which is muhkam, something which is firm and solid. Principles grounded in fundamental, solid principles and values which cannot be shaken. Very logical. And also this individual, if he has hikmah, not only he knows these principles, but he practices them. So he's a living example of that knowledge that he has. We gave this hikmah to Luqman. So if we are to become a parent, the Quranic type of parent, we not only have to have the necessary divine knowledge, but also we need to be able to practice to become a role model for our children. The ayah begins by saying, remember the time وَإِذْ قَالَ لُقْمَانُ لِابْنِهِ, and when Luqman told his son, Ya bunayya, my dear son. Incidentally, in this whole page, there's a whole page of instructions. Luqman addresses his son not once, not twice, 3 times. Ya bunayya, Ya bunayya, Ya bunayya, my dear loving son. This bond of affection, of love, of care, of concern, very important between a father and son. Ya bunayya, la tushrik billah. The first intellectual, mental message that he is giving to his son. Do not associate a partner with God. Believe in God, yes, but the big danger is to make shirk. Why? I say so. No, Luqman doesn't speak like that. The father is not an authoritarian figure, dictator. No. There's somebody who said, the problem with our fathers is outside they'll vote for democracy, at home they're dictators. No, he was not dictatorial. He gave me a reason. Inna shirka la dhulmun. Shirk is dhulm. Shirk is something that is unfair, unjust. It just doesn't make sense. Some entity, a being who is all powerful, all living, all perfect, all knowing, all just, all kind, all generous, And then on the other side, you begin to associate these same divine qualities to other entities. This is dhulm. No, it is dhulmun azim. It is going to hurt others because now you're going to follow others. And others will dictate to you according to their limited knowledge and their desires and whims and fancies, which are all based on foolishness, not true knowledge. And you'll end up therefore hurting others. No, worse than that, you'll be hurting yourself. Not only your body, but also your mind. Worse, you'll hurt your soul. It's dhulm. Don't do it. Great dhulm. Discussion, explanation, justification, rationalization. Principle number 1. Principle number 2. And my dear son. So there has to be engagement, there has to be involvement, there has to be time to be given to the children to discuss, to debate with them. And number 2, you also need to build up their knowledge about the akhirah. Ya bunayya innaha in taku mithqala habbatin min khardal fatakun fi sakhratin aw fi samawati aw fil ardi ya'ti biha Allah. My son, my dear son, let me tell you one fundamental reality. You have to be responsible, you have to be accountable, you have to be careful. Anything and everything you do, even the smallest act that you do, or how small, what can you imagine, a very small entity, a seed? No, the smallest seed, the mustard seed. Even if there's a mustard seed anywhere, the most distant place, the most darkest place, the deepest of the places, Allah will definitely bring and summon it to account. Kwanini, because I say so? No, inna Allah latifun khabir. God is all-knowing. Not only is He all-knowing, He's latif, He's all-penetrative. There's nothing that escapes His power and His knowledge. We had a meeting with, as parents of secondary school children, with the head of the school. One of the pieces of advice he gave about monitoring, about discipline, about engagement with the teenagers is that don't let them free. Don't give them all the gadgets and expose them to all the dangers of the world. Monitor, supervise, check. And don't allow them to close the door to their room. He says, if you can, remove the door from their room. Of course, initially it's an external monitor, supervisor. But gradually what we want is that internal monitor to develop, that internal police. Not that they're afraid that there's always going to be somebody who's going to come and check on me. There's that internal check that has to develop within them. The most important element in development of responsibility in a child. You see, the big challenge we're facing, the school results show that the academic performance of a child doesn't depend on their social background. 8 times more what is effective in the superior academic success of a child is the parent. Very important. This we read just an ayah. Luqman sat with his son, discussed in loving, affectionate, logical manner. But that's the foundation of success. And then the ayah continues, Ya bunayya, aqimis salata. And my son, dear son, let me give you a fundamental piece of advice. Always connect to your Lord on a regular basis, constant basis, with humility, with concentration, and if possible in congregation. Aqimis salah. Try to establish prayer in its full form, not only wajibat, even the mustahabbat. There's no problem in life that cannot be solved through prayer. There is no reason for a child to grow up and face problems in life and say, I am defeated. If you have a Lord who is unlimited in His power and in His knowledge and in His love and care and compassion and readiness to help, there's no reason for failure. But the secret is salah, and the training begins at home. وَأْمُرْ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَانْهَ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ. My son, whatever is ma'roof, do it. Whatever is good, virtuous, do it, practice it. And spread the practice amongst others. Be socially responsible. Don't be passive and quiet and silent. Whatever you see around, if there's no good being done, encourage it. Advise people. Invite people. Educate them. Alert them. Remind them. Sometimes they forget. وَانْهَ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ. And also the social responsibility of trying to prevent evil and what is wrong. In the school environment, there can be bullying, there can be insulting, there can be degradation of the teacher, God forbid. Sometimes, unfortunately, students gang up and the whole crowd begins to insult the teacher. Well, where is Nahi Anil Munkar happening in this class? And finally, Luqman tells his son, وَاصْبِرْ عَلَى مَا أَصَابَكَ إِنَّ ذَلِكَ مِنْ عَزْمِ الْأُمُورِ. And you should always practice sabr. Be determined, be enduring, be tolerant. There will be difficulties in life. You'll not succeed always. You'll face challenges. There can be challenges which are personal, from the family, from the environment. But be firm. Don't lose out. If you want to train your child with one key of success, this is the sabr. There was an interesting experiment conducted in one of the American universities. They brought children and they gave them certain tasks to do, and they said, we've got sweets for you. If you complete this task, we'll give you this sweet. But if you wait, we've just got some other work, we're going, we'll come back, then we'll give you 2 sweets, bigger one, but you have to wait. So they tested, and they discovered some percentage of children, the moment the experiment has gone out, the adult supervisor has gone out, they go for the gift. Others wait. Some others are worried, should they take it, not take it? Different reactions. But the interesting thing of this experiment was, the same children were followed up when they grew up. When they grew up, the success in future life depended on the sabr they made in that experiment when they were children. Success in school, success in married life, success in work life, sabr. Inna dhalika min azmil umur. One of the most decisive affairs that you are ordered to develop within you, my son, sabr. And the father is responsible to bring about through play, through interaction, through discussion, through discipline, through behavior monitoring. When you go to a public environment, how should a person behave? There is an etiquette of standing in a queue, of giving respect to others. All comes back to sabr. All comes back to that impulse that I want. I want my desires to be fulfilled now. Wait a minute, where is sabr? Where is respect for others? Where is the respect for the law of God? Respect for the law of the community? Sabr, very important. And finally, Luqman ends by saying that, incidentally, this sabr, if you want to see Imam Hussein alayhi salam, see how they displayed it in that story of Surah Dahr. They fasted, which is nothing but sabr. You control your impulse of hunger and thirst. And then when you break the fast, وَيُطْعِمُونَ الطَّعَامَ عَلَى حُبِّهِ. Oh, they loved that food because they're hungry, they're thirsty. Whole day they fasted. Despite the intense desire to eat and drink, yet if a miskin and an asir and a yatim come, they sacrifice and they give. This is the training of sabr that was given right as children. And you see the result in Karbala. And even in their school success, teachers will tell you, you have majority of children, they are of average intelligence. Yes, very few are very intelligent, very few are very low intelligence. But the majority of average intelligence, the average intelligent child, if he practices sabr, perseverance, endurance, hard work, determination, control and organization and planning, remove distractions. No fun now, no play now. Yes, there will be, but a fixed time. You go for fun now and study less, you get low results. You end up a whole lifetime of suffering. You get a low income job. You got a big problem. The sabr is in the school time. And the results were seen of this practice of sabr in Karbala. So notice how these different youths of Bani Hashim came to the battlefield. One final message I would like to share with you before we turn to Karbala. In those societies where unfortunately marriages are breaking down, therefore children are being brought up only by a single parent, the mother most of the time. The father is missing. He comes for a visit once in a while depending on what custodial arrangements have been made. They've discovered that a fatherless family, the result on the child is the chances of that child being deviated to early sexual activity, the chances of that child becoming pregnant in their teen period, the chances for that child to fail academically, God forbid the child to enter into crime, or the child to even go beyond into suicide, or no, just to experience emotional insecurity. All these problems come back to the father, the absence of the father. Very important. And the proof of that we have practically, Karbala. Notice these young men when they came out to the battlefield. Abdullah bin Muslim bin Aqil, he comes to the battlefield and his slogan, أقسمت لا أقتل إلا حرا وقد وجدت الموت شيئا مرا أكره أن أدعى جبانا فرا إن الجبان من عصى وفرا. I swear to God, he says, I will die as a free man. I will not become a slave to the evil dictators. I know death is painful, but I'm ready to face death rather than live under an evil ruler. This is a well-trained young man. Or look at the slogan of Ja'far, the son of Aqil bin Abi Talib. أنا الغلام الأبطحي الطالبي من معشري في هاشمي وغالبي ونحن حقا سادة الذوائب وهذا حسين سيد الأطائب. He recognized who is the leader to be followed. The core issue in Karbala is, well, both sides were practicing. There was salah on both sides. But who was the leader? Or look at the battle cry of Abdul Rahman bin Aqil. أبي عقيل فاعرفوا مكاني من هاشم وهاشم إخواني كهول صدق سادة الأقران هذا حسين شامخ البنيان سيد الشيب مع الشبان. Pride and honor through Hussein alayhi salam, the father. Or look at the example of the two sons of Abdullah bin Ja'far. Abdullah bin Ja'far himself did not attend Karbala. He was an old man, maybe he was sick, but he was very proud that his two sons attended. When the news came to him that in Medina, your two sons have been killed, somebody commented, you see, this is the result of allowing your sons to travel with Hussein. Abdullah bin Ja'far replies, no, I'm very proud. I wish I were there. But I'm very happy, instead of me, my sons were there. So Abdullah bin Ja'far, proud that he trained, proud that he gave the supervision in his absence to another father figure, Imam Hussein alayhi salam, to take care of his two sons. Aun and Muhammad. Aun came to the battlefield. Aun bin Abdullah bin Ja'far. In tunkiruni فأنا ابن جعفر شهيد صدق في الجنان أزهر يطير فيها بالجناح أخضر كفى بذلك فخرا في المحشر. If you don't know who I am, let me tell you, I am the grandson of Ja'far. You know which Ja'far? Ja'far bin Abi Talib, 10 years older than Ali ibn Abi Talib, migrated with his wife Asma bint Umays to Habash. That's where Abdullah bin Ja'far was born. Came back to Medina in the 7th year of Hijrah, in the year of the victory in Khaybar. 8th year of Hijrah, he went to the battle of Mu'tah and he was shaheed there. The Prophet ﷺ loved Ja'far. Incidentally, Ja'far was amongst the first converts who expressed Islam after the Prophet declared it. As-sabiqun, as-sabiqun, they are amongst the foremost. And in that battle, when he was made shaheed, the Prophet ﷺ said that he has been granted a high status in Jannah. Well, how do we explain high status? Wings! He's been given wings. Wings is not that they become birds. No, wings is an instrument, is a means whereby you can move swiftly around. They have been given extra powers in Jannah. This grandson is proud of that grandfather. Fatherhood, very important. The whole motive for this man to come to the battlefield, the father. Or Muhammad bin Abdullah bin Ja'far. أشكو إلى الله من العدوان فعال قوم في الردى عميانا قد بدلوا معالم القرآن ومحكم التنزيل والتبيان وأظهروا الكفر مع الطغيان. Amazing analysis of where the problem was. Imagine 30,000 army came against Imam Hussein. They didn't have this analysis of where the problem is. They were blind. Muhammad bin Abdullah bin Ja'far says, I will complain to God, we are suffering oppression and aggression at the hands of this evil ruler. How come nobody is helping us? The Qawm is blind. They have failed to see the truth because of their sinfulness. How so? How can you become so sinful? Quran. Message is clear. They know the message. They are refusing to act on the message. It's affecting them. It's blinding them to the truth. Result, they become kafir. They're saying La ilaha illallah, but they're kafir. If after La ilaha illallah, now you're denying the message and the implications of the message. Let's pray to Allah for tawfiq to be able to follow these models and how fatherhood can achieve these spectacular results. Assalamu ala al-Husayn wa ala Ali ibn al-Husayn wa ala awlad al-Husayn wa ala as-sahab al-Husayn wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.